we can still put things right. And you know, there were some positives to take from it. I'm sure we're going to delve into some of the things that we could work on. But I thought Brozier was pretty promising as soon as he came on. He was kind of breaking away from defenders and had a chance as well. Reece James, as we were talking about him earlier, you know, he's just signed his obviously his new deal, and he was really putting the work in today. Some amazing crosses from him. Frustrating there was no one really to kind of get on the end of it, but you know, you've got to give credit to him.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think, firstly, credit to Dinamo Zagreb. They defended fantastically well. They had one real chance and took it, but that was probably the best chance of the game, and that's the difference this evening.
I was kind of waiting for us to really turn the screw, and even those moments where we put the pressure on and looked like we were growing in confidence, it's like they had a bit of just a bit of know-how to just take the sting out of the game, Zagreb, and they did it well, contained us. I just think we weren't at the races, you know, maybe we're a little bit complacent, maybe the journey, maybe it's the 5:45 kickoff. I'm not sure. I'm looking for excuses as well. But, you know, we probably didn't deserve to win that match. We tried, you know, we did everything we could, but it just wasn't our day. But I think we need to find a solution pretty quickly because we've not had a great start to the season. It
has been a testing start. I think that's a fair comment to make, you know, for the season. Chelsea certainly not at their pinnacle, at their best that we've seen them in the past. But I think the one reassuring thing of that is we have got time. We've kind of lost our wiggle room as such now because you wouldn't have banked on us losing to Dinamo Zagreb. And unfortunately, when you look at it on paper, this would have been the one that you thought Chelsea can get something from. So the fact we haven't does mean maybe there's a little bit more pressure on the two Salzburg games, and maybe now we have to make sure that we get 4 points at least from the AC Milan games as such. But there is time on that. I suppose Thomas Tuchel looked quite a frustrated figure at times during the evening. He won't be happy with the result, but like we keep saying, it's so early in Chelsea's season. Yeah. And you don't win anything in September. Yeah, absolutely not. And those players are going to be so disappointed, you know, as disappointed as we are. And these next run of games are must-wins now. I think with us, it's like we've seen kind of glimpses of what we can do, you know, some bits and pieces from new signings, but we just haven't hit a rhythm. Even in the league, it's like we had that great performance against Spurs. Yeah. Next game, we dip again, and then we're back. And, you know, we just need to find some level of consistency. I think the thing we will find so frustrating is often we're having the same conversation, isn't it? It's like, let's make the most of those chances, especially when there are such amazing crosses and things coming in. But yeah, it's something that needs to be solved, and I'm sure Thomas Tuchel is very, very aware of that. Absolutely, and again, you know, we've seen teams deploy this low block that is called, in terms essentially it's them putting as many players behind the ball as possible to make things difficult, make spaces compact. But Chelsea didn't really start shooting until about the 70th minute when we started to then look for openings and test them from range. I suppose it is that little bit sort of a mentality of we will eventually get our chances, but perhaps when it gets to a certain amount of time during the game, things do need to change a little bit. Yeah, exactly, you know, and we probably missed that from Rudiger because he would shoot from 40, 50 yards, but I'm sure one of them went in. But what it does, it just draws teams out. I think we do need to shoot more. It must be part of our philosophy to play beautiful football, even when perhaps we need a goal more urgently. Look, we just weren't at the races individually. As a collective, we weren't great. I wouldn't say we were terrible, but perhaps, you know, Dinamo, they overperformed, you know, and they took their chance, and it gave them something to cling on to, and they held on to it with both hands. And it could have been a different game if it was to play them again tomorrow. You know, would play that fixture differently. But this low block that team seemed to deploy against us, we have to find almost a plan B for it. I think that's a really good point, and I think I know that moments are changed. You know, games are changed in specific moments, but that stat we saw at half-time, and Orsic had 20 touches and 3 shots and scored 1 goal from it, in comparison to Chelsea having 444 as a team. Like you do look at that and you think, okay, those are the moments really that, if he doesn't score, and I know it's a big if he doesn't score, then all of a sudden the game's completely different, and there isn't an opportunity for them to sit 11 men behind the ball because maybe they sense they have to try and get something from their home game. So it does rely on moments, and it is those that one little moment that perhaps isn't going our way at the moment. Yeah. We will get our time, and we will have games where we come away from it. Maybe we did at the weekend with a goal that's gone in. Maybe it's so true, isn't it? It's like sometimes you just have luck on your side, and actually, credit to their keeper, made a couple of really great saves. There was a shot off the post as well. So we did come really, really close, and it's just those tiny margins, isn't it? And it just felt like everything was against us a little bit. It did a little bit, didn't it? And I suppose if we're looking at the weekend, Fulham, we know we could expect something similar from them, in essence, you know, in terms of defending deep, and they've got a target man in Aleksandar Mitrovic, who started the season really well. We need to learn how to get through games like tonight.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's the one thing that you would say is Thomas Tuchel is absolutely looking at what to do for that, and we will get there. It just maybe it relies on a little bit of luck and a little bit of time.
I think it does, because, you know, Tuchel will be giving them the right advice, and he will be telling them, beware of this and do that. But those split-second moments are ones that just completely decide the game. You know, we obviously don't have luck on our side at the moment. Or we did at the weekend, you know. Maybe we used it all up with that. But, you know, I think we're due a change. You know, we haven't had a good performance. We're sometimes used to not playing well and still picking up the 3 points. At the moment, we're playing well and not even leaving with the 3 points, you know, or we're not playing well and actually losing all 3 points, you know. So I'm sure the universe has something nice for us in store somewhere along the line. But for now, I think we just have to dig our heels in and make it through this little rough patch.
I think we do feel that, though, Abby, don't we? We had this conversation probably a similar time last year, and then we had a run of games sort of late September through to November. You looked at about 7 games on the spin, and we played Norwich, we played Burnley, we had Malmo in the Champions League, Zenit in the Champions League, and then we went on a run of, I think, 7 or 8, where, including a 7-1 win over Norwich, we just seemed to absolutely dismantle teams. There is a run of that in this team. That will happen.
Yeah.
You just hope at some point it begins maybe on Saturday against Fulham, Salzburg straight after that, because a week on the other side of that, you've got Liverpool. So it has to start at some point, and hopefully if you play your way into form, that happens sooner rather than later. Yeah,
let's put it onto the ether. It's going to start, and it's going to start really soon, and it's going to be great, and we're going to go on that run. I mean, we do need to talk about the fact that, you know, we do have quite a few new signings. They're adapting to the things, in some cases adapting to different leagues and stuff as well. So it is going to take time, but look at our squad. It's full of absolutely world-class players. It's a brilliant mix of leadership and experience, and also the exciting players that we love so much that have come through the academy. So we do have it. It just all needs to click into place. But when it does, we're going to be back to our best, and, you know, we're going to be the Chelsea that people don't want to play.
Absolutely right. Well said. Yeah, you don't win a trophy on the first game. That's on the 10th of June. That's when we're going to win it. Don't worry about it. This is what's coming up for you on the 5th stand-up this week. Then Friday afternoon, Thomas Tuchel speaking to the press ahead of our London derby, a little local one actually for us as well. Premier League Matchday live away at Fulham from 11:45, and then on Saturday evening you'll get PL2 highlights of Chelsea against Liverpool. Right, and so one word to sum up today, Dan, or the feeling. One word to sum up your feeling after today, maybe.
Frustrating.
Pain. Let's be dramatic.
No, fair enough. I'm going to go optimistic. It's still in our hands. It's the Chelsea way. We don't like to do things on an easy way. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your evening.